Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of horror movie news. Today we have no guests, so we're going back to news. We're going to talk about the movies we've been watching. We're going to talk about the Grudge reboot and what iconic cast member they just got, as well as a Happy Death Day sequel that's unofficially confirmed, but it's happening. So we'll talk about it. And also we have wonderful trailers, one of which includes The House with All the Clocks. No, The House with Clocks in Its Walls. Excuse me. It's a long title. Anyways, let's get to it. It's horror movie news.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies.
We talk horror movies.
Yes.
Movies don't create recycles.
Wait for that drop.
Oh,
there we go.
Oh, I gotta love it. Gotta love it. Oh, yeah, just that beat drop.
Yes.
Kind of thing. Empowers me. Welcome everybody to horror movie news.
Yay.
We are on episode 23.
Yay!
And today is March 27th, right? Yeah.
There you go.
Right on. All right. Hello, everyone. You can find me. Well, actually, no. My name is Anthony Becerra. I gotta stop doing that every week. Anyways, with me as always, I have.
Hey, how's it going? Carrie Lane here.
Hey guys, I'm Oliver Drennan.
Right on. And Lucretia Lyon and Chauncey K. Robinson could not be here today, but that's okay. They're with us in spirit. Yes, looking at us from the other side of the abyss.
Yes.
They're dead.
Or,
They're dead.
but we hope not, though.
Yeah.
But it's a total possibility. I haven't checked up on it in like a couple minutes.
Yeah.
Anyways, let's do some quick crypt keeping. So where to find us? Pretty much youtube.com/Popcorn Talk Network. That's our main YouTube channel under the Popcorn Talk Network, as well as our own Twitter at Horror News PTN. And you can also find us on popcorntalknetwork.com, our official Popcorn Talk Network website that just got a new facelift. So go and check it out. It's awesome. It's awesomer than what it was before.
That works,
Yeah. And then last but not least, Apple Podcasts on iTunes or wherever you find your podcast. Just rate them. I'm sure it's going to do us good in the end. And just type in horror movie news. Look for our little insignia right here that I have behind me. And leave a 5-star rating along with some comments. And any feedback will do. Or if you just want to talk about movies, let's talk about movies.
Yeah.
If we didn't cover a movie you want to talk about, then we can talk about it then and there. Or we'll retweet it out for you. Right on. So now let's move into our first segment that we got, The Abyss. So pretty much The Abyss is films that we've been watching and or just like general contents that we relate to horror. Or just really cool stuff that's happening in pop cultures as well. So
I was gonna say that's a good segue. I went to WonderCon this past weekend, so I didn't see as many movies as I would have wanted, but I was at WonderCon.
So you were actually in The Abyss.
I was.
Yeah.
The abyss of WonderCon. So the social network, the social Twitter page for this show, check it out. I will post some pictures of cool horror cosplay I saw there.
Yeah, please do. That'd be awesome.
Saw a great Pennywise.
You showed me the Coco one too, which I thought was awesome.
Yeah, there was a good Coco. And then there was, I didn't take that photo, but that was a good one. And then I also saw a Chucky. It was a girl who was kind of sexy Chucky, which was
I
interesting.
love gender swaps.
Yeah,
Will it get me confused? No,
it will get you confused a little bit. You're like, I don't know if I'm so scared or like this. But I also...
It's okay to have both.
Yeah, right. So go check out our Horror PTN on Twitter, and we'll post those pictures. So I've been watching a little bit more of Altered Carbon. I still recommend it. It's a good show.
Eventually, I'll get to it.
I know, you're like, eventually. I just really love that idea that, like, you could transfer all of you to another body. And
Straight
it's
Chappie
irrelevant.
style.
I haven't actually watched Chappie.
Oh, okay.
yet.
It has to do with like transference of like consciousness from like being to like
something else.
A machine in a sense, but like it's kind of sort of plays with those same themes from like you transfer consciousness from body to body.
But then the question is your soul there? Is that really you? It's
Those are the questions it poses. I'm guessing. That's cool.
Well, I think this show does the best job that I would believe that's me going into another body, not just a copy.
Right.
It's like, oh, I like how they explode that. More of Be the Beginning. We finished it, so check out AfterBuzz Anime After Show after this at 6 because we'll talk about the ending.
Yep.
And that one's a good one and has a kind of horror-esque theme to it.
Absolutely. Like there's a scene where I was like really cringing.
A lot of good
really
gore.
There's that show's so gory. Yeah.
Love the blood. And
I didn't finish it, but I was trying to catch up, and I saw that like he just straight up hacks at someone in the face with like the sword, and I was just like, oh.
Yeah.
Like you don't see like super detailed, but you see enough where you're just like, ooh.
Yeah. So good.
Yeah.
I watched Pacific Rim, not horror related, but cool monsters fighting each other.
Kaijus.
Yes.
Yeah, right on.
it is more fun than the first one. Like the first one's more like a drama, and this one's more just like cool rock'em sock'em robots.
Yeah, I gotta
go into it with that.
I gotta say, like, why I'm so turned off by the second film is because the first one, even though I'm like, since you guys know I'm a huge fan of Guillermo del Toro, but that was like a very like meh film for me. It was very like
The first one?
Yeah, it was very like it's very like mediocre for me. Nonetheless, like I like the cool like visuals and the ideas of like robots fighting monsters. But overall, it felt like a meh film. So like the fact that it came out with a second part. And I'm just like, dude.
Cash grab.
Yeah, that's like,
I'm
of course,
what
yeah.
you'll think of it, because it is one where I'm like, do they need to make a sequel? No,
I don't think they
but
had
it was
to.
fun.
No, yeah.
Like I just remember I liked the first one.
And it was a little too long too. The first one.
This one didn't feel long though, even though it's like a 2-hour movie.
Okay.
But
Wait, quick question. I know.
Yeah.
Sorry. Are the monsters like aliens or are they like
they're from another
Earth?
dimension.
I was about to say, I think they're
Okay.
interdimensional.
Interdimensional, because
Alright.
The rift in the Pacific.
they cut it
Okay.
into
The
the ground
rim.
and that.
I've never seen it. Does
okay.
not look good to me. My personal taste, I don't like giant monsters.
I'm not- well-
like I like Godzilla, but I don't know. I don't like
Yeah.
technology like beating up animals.
I'm
Like,
not a giant.
like, I don't know, beating up like nature and like I'm just like no, I'm rooting for the
Machines
monsters.
rule all.
Like
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm against technology.
I'm not a huge
and-
mech fan though, but I like in Pacific Rim, both of them. I mean, they have it in the first, but they have a lot in the second too. Is it's not so much like just the robots. You see the people moving around a lot inside, and so it's a little more like
Okay.
a real human.
Also,
Anyway,
real quick, I just want to touch on
yeah.
every time I see those kind of big, like also Rampage or just like
Oh,
Godzilla.
Rampage looks so dumb,
But like
but
all those
fun.
movies that like just like destroy cities.
Yeah.
I'm always just thinking, I was like,
all those people.
That-
I was like, how many people are in those buildings that are just being like their lives are just being torn apart?
Technically, in Pacific
I'm just
Rim,
like, what? Do they evac everyone?
They do. They said there's like evac underground, but I'm like, they still destroy it so much that I don't believe everybody gets there quick enough.
Is it? I'm
Like
also,
there's a shelter thing that
Yeah.
goes down underground, but
is
I'm
it
like, there's still people outside.
Neon Evangelion kind of style where like the whole city goes underground, like it's upside
No,
down.
it's
You
just
guys
like
seen that? Oh, okay.
like rooms essentially. The people run into it and then it goes down. But I'm still like, nah, not everybody got out. Though Rampage at WonderCon, they had the original like arcade style game revamped
right.
with the new monsters on it,
Yeah.
and so they had a couple of them that you could play it, which I was like, that's
Rampage
actually
looks
good.
fun because
It does.
it's all isn't it?
It
all,
does not.
It
I'm
looks-
sorry,
looks
dude.
so fun.
Are you
No,
kidding me?
it probably
It looks
looks-
fun, sure, yeah.
I prefer that over Pacific Rim.
Sure.
Like it's probably like,
I don't know.
Not
I'd rather
good,
not watch either of them.
But it's probably entertaining, like kind of like Kong,
Giant monsters.
like Kong Skull Island.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
If I were to pick between the two, I'd go with Pacific Rim. I'm not here for Dwayne The Rock Johnson and
Well, monsters
big
are
ass
part of horror
silver.
too, so it's kind of
It's
like our
just-
side note. Well, which actually, speaking of another movie, I got to see the premiere of Ready Player One last night.
Oh yeah.
Super different from the book, so I will warn anybody who has read the book. It's so
I know.
different.
There's so many people reading the book now, and it's just like I doubt it's gonna be anything.
Okay,
like
there's
that.
some where it's kind of similar, but this
Yeah.
one I was like, from the first like
Like you-
challenge, sitting there like record scratch, like, what?
Yeah. Well, you're not gonna see a kid play Joust for like
No,
hours.
no, but it's
Like,
not. None of the games are like the same.
yeah,
at all.
I hope so.
No, they were good. And
No,
it
they
would-
weren't. Not
you
for
didn't have to
not
do
for
the whole
film
time.
though.
No, they could have. I've
No,
been
they
rereading it,
couldn't.
and I'm like, you watch it, and then
Unless
we'll
he's
talk
like
about
literally playing Joust, and he's like.
It. No,
on
but you
the
could have done
fucking-
it abbreviated, which okay. The movie's really good and really fun. Don't get me wrong, but it's like if you read the book, it's super different. It still has the spirit of the book and the same like arc and like main-ish points, but just so much of it changed that you're like.
All right.
But the cool addition is there are some new horror things that are not in the book, and I did think that was like a brilliant change. But I don't want to tell you because it was such a fun surprise when it happens that you're like,
All right. So in summation, if you read the book before you see the movie, you're gonna be very disappointed.
no. That's not
Right?
at all. You should go in knowing it won't be the same. Because I still really
and
enjoyed
then
it.
let the disappointment just hit you all at once.
No.
Then you swallow it, and then you
No.
enjoy the film.
I still enjoyed it. An audience enjoyed it. I was sitting next to someone who hadn't read it at all, and they really enjoyed it. It's more that if you've read the book, go in knowing it'll be different. It's like an alternate version because the writer of the book is involved with the
It's
movie.
inspired by the
Right,
book,
it's
right?
More
inspired by the book.
inspired
think
Yeah.
by.
Okay.
Yeah, it's
not
like one
really
that's loosely inspired.
Yeah, it's not a True Blood adaptation.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
But
Which-
I feel better that the author was involved because there's other things like the Expanse TV show, the writers are involved, so it's more like they could do things that they didn't get to do.
real quick. Do you think there'll be any backlash of like it's not like the book? All them fans.
Well,
There might be, but some of the changes they made were one of the big ones, the one that's more of a horror aspect, was so cool and good that
It paid off.
that made me like, okay, I'll take that one. That was the one big change. I was like,
Right on.
awesome.
Well, that's
Cool.
really cool. Just real quick, like kind of how like the use of the author was involved in it.
Yes.
That's kind of how like Runaways, Brian K. Vaughan was involved. He was kind of like the executive producer. So
yeah.
you can kind of incorporate things that you didn't get to put in the comics
Yeah.
or the story that you wanted to originally. But
Exactly.
it's cool to have a collaborative effort.
Yeah.
So yeah, I didn't see any new films. Like I was watching Netflix this week, Be the Beginning, obviously. Excited to talk about that. I finished Jessica Jones, season 2.
Nice.
A little underwhelmed by it. Did you finish it?
No, I have not. I've only seen the first 3.
I love Christian Ritter. I just wanted a little bit more. They did tease something for a future season for a particular character. I don't know
I
if
saw
you
your
know.
tweet about it.
So I'm really excited about that. The future of Jessica Jones. It just didn't leave you like, I loved
Yeah.
it, but I wanted more for sure. Especially after waiting like 2 years since the first season
Sure.
dropped on Netflix. But I'm currently replaying Until Dawn on PS4.
Oh, is that the?
which is such a fun game.
Yeah,
It's
like
I forget who makes it, but
it's like a cinematic storytelling.
yeah, kind of point and click, but you also control the characters.
Yeah.
Basically,
And it's like a horror movie, pretty
yeah,
much. Yeah,
it's like
that's
a
awesome.
teenage slasher. You play as like 8 different characters
Oh, that's
who,
fun.
who are like up in like
A cabin in the in the woods, and it's
like,
snowing. I
there-
think
it's a mystery. There's a conspiracy, and like you get to choose their fates, and like there's a butterfly effect, so there's
Yeah.
consequences for a lot of.
Yeah, I actually have that on PS4. It was free for a while.
Have you
and I
played
picked
it?
I haven't played it. I want to though.
It's like different. Like after you finish it, kind of like The Sixth Sense. Like it's
Yeah.
totally you know everything that happens. You know the twist.
Yeah, I'm building up my repertoire of like horror games.
But like the first initial playthrough of that game is freaking amazing, and I was
Dang.
legit scared my first time playing it, and I don't get scared playing video games. But anyways,
really
that's my
Until
abyss.
Dawn. Right on. Yeah, I went to go see Insane, the new Steven Soderbergh movie. It was cool. I gotta say, I enjoyed it. Not a lot, really. It was just kind of like, okay. It wasn't anything special, but I do appreciate it for like how it made me feel. It made me feel very stressed, very. What were some of the things I wrote down? Very discomforting, stressful. I think the acting was really great by Claire Foy and Juno Temple. Juno Temple played this like really just like gross psychiatric inmate, and it's just like, ooh.
She's getting stalked in the movie, right?
Or
Or
well, it's you gotta watch it. I don't want
Okay.
to. I don't want to like
Okay.
spoil anything. That's like a huge crutch of the thing. So it's like the question of whether she is or isn't is like a huge thing. So, I don't want to like give that away. But I gotta say it does take the movie in directions that I didn't expect it to go, and I was like, oh, cool. All
okay,
right.
so
Yeah.
it's better than the trailer. You think?
Um,
Because I looked at the trailer and I'm like, I don't know if I want to see this.
I think it's the exact same like feeling sense.
Okay.
Because I went in, I was like, I know this isn't gonna be like. I even felt like this is not gonna be like amazing, but I'm still gonna watch this.
Okay.
So yeah, I watched it. Definitely used my movie pass on it. So if anything,
Not
go watch
sponsored.
it if you have a movie pass. Not sponsored. Hashtag not sponsored by movie pass. But I mean, we're open to it.
I know.
Absolutely.
We're open. Yeah, but I would say definitely worth the watch. Just don't go expecting too much, and I think you'll be fun like that. And if you want to feel like discomforted, like go ahead and watch that too. All right, is that all of us then?
Yeah.
Right on. All right, so on to our second segment. We have The Crypt. Pretty much this is what film we'd like to recommend with people. I'll just kick it off real quick. So I saw Last Shift earlier today, released back in 2014. And I gotta say, definitely go catch this film. It's on Netflix right now, and it was bonkers. So a couple of details. It's directed by Anthony de Blasi. He did a film called Extremity. He's working on a film called Extremity. That's his like most recent release. That's gonna come out later this year. It's in post production right now. He's also done Most Likely to Die, and it's hard to pronounce, but it's Casadag, which is also on Netflix. So those two, I know Casadag's for sure on Netflix. I don't know about Most Likely to Die, but yeah. So he's been in the indie horror circuit for a bit. He also wrote it along with this guy named Scott Poyley. And the synopsis, real quick, is a rookie cop's first shift alone in the last nights of a closing police station turns into a living nightmare. So she's tasked. This character named Jessica is tasked with taking the last shift of just like being a guard for this abandoned police station. But that they're moving to a new police station, and it just so happens some crazy things went down in that police station, and there's a little mystery as to why they're leaving it, and also as to what happened in there, and it's also related to her father and stuff, because her father was also a police officer, and that's like you learned that early on in the film, and it was pretty interesting. Overall, I thought it was good. It had great scares. It was very high tension. It had really great audio production. I saw it with my headphones on, and that really added to like where the sound was coming from.
Nice.
So I thought that was really cool, like what you can like what you experience with like different mediums of just hearing. So I gotta say that's like probably its best selling point too, like that. And apart from that, I thought they had really great makeup and also like nice practical effects. Some of the makeup was really creepy, very very creepy.
Nice.
Oh yeah, and there's also this cool scene where they make use of a flashlight in a like cool creative way that like really creeped me out and like scared me a bit. Yeah, because like once you like, there's like a huge reveal of like it shines a light on someone and you're like, oh, and so you're like, okay. So yeah, definitely go check it out. Last Shift, it's on Netflix right now. It's only about like an hour 30 minutes. So
I just added it to my queue.
yeah, it's
Yeah,
a
it
quick
sounds really
it's a
good.
quick watch, and like once there's like within the first 15 minutes things start rolling, like things start
Nice.
happening,
Yeah.
and you're just like,
No
oh.
slow burns in this one.
Yeah, I
Very
mean,
very linear, you'd say. Like it's easy to kind of like follow.
yeah, you see like there's like cycles, like every time she gets a phone call, like the stakes are higher. Like I'll give you that much.
Nice.
Cool.
nice.
Yeah, but yeah, Last Shift, check it out on Netflix.
Well, I watched Tragedy Girls, directed by Tyler McIntire, and also he wrote it as well, as along with Chris Lee Hill, and it stars Brianna Hildenbrand and Alexandra Shipp and Josh Hutcherson. And it's really funny because Brianna is Negasonic Teenage Warhead in Deadpool, and Alexandra is Storm, who debuted as Storm in Apocalypse, the newest X-Men film. So it's really
X-Men
funny.
kids.
It's funny seeing them team up along with Josh Hutcherson. He's not really
Hunger
in it.
Games.
Yeah, but he's like not really in the film, but you'll see why if you watch the film. But it's
You did. No, I'm just kidding.
What'd you watch it on?
I actually forgot what I watched.
Because I was like,
honestly.
that
think it's on
sounds
Amazon.
familiar.
I think I did watch it on Amazon.
I think it's on
Okay.
Amazon Prime. 'Cause I
okay.
have it. I've seen her around there too, I think.
Because yeah, that plot sounds familiar. Which,
It's really good. It's in order to obtain a social media stardom, two high school students go on a murder rampage to support their serial killer blog, and it was really
Oh, wow.
It was a lot of fun. It's a dark horror comedy, and I think it has a really good message of the dark sides of social media and how it creates narcissism and attention seeking, and it's just like social media tends to not be an accurate representation of your life. Totally. I love social media. We all love
Yeah.
social media. We promote ourselves.
Yeah, it's like a
but-
persona we all
absolutely.
like acquire through social media. Yeah.
But it was a lot of fun, and it's funny. Like sometimes when they were killing people, it looked like an accident rather than an actual like murder because they want to make it look like a murder. So sometimes they would screw up, so they have to like, oh crap, we have to cut up the body and make it look like an actual murder. So
So it sounds like a dark comedy too, right?
yeah, it's
Okay.
a dark horror comedy, and I really enjoyed it and totally recommend it. Add it to your list, Carrie.
Yeah, I've been.
Add
I was
it
gonna
to
say,
your
if it's
list.
I've
on
had it on
Amazon.
my list. I just haven't seen it yet. I
was
haven't gotten
good.
around to it.
all
Yeah.
right.
I liked it a lot more than I thought I was going to. And I
Really?
really like Brianna. She's awesome.
I gotta check it out. All right.
Cool. Well, mine. It's funny because in the movie they say Elena and then they say Aliena. So I'm like, Elena, we'll just say Elena and keep it a little easier. It's 2015. It's from Sweden.
Oh, okay.
Directed by Daniel D. Grotto. So I apologize if I mispronounce Swedish names. Writers were Christian Gelzelzius, Alexander Onofre, and the director was one of the writers as well.
3 writers. Huh?
Yeah, that's what I was like.
Oh,
There's a few
collab.
writers. Then the main girl is Amalia Holm, which she's really cool. A visual thing they did for her is they made her eyebrows like white, which looked really weird because she has like dark hair.
Huh.
It was just one of those like, is she born with those? Because sure, you could be that blonde.
It's apparently a look, I guess,
Could
for
be a
makeup
thing,
artists.
yeah. And then, so she's this transfer student to this prep all-girls school, and then Molly Nutley plays Philippa. Her character is Elena. Philippa's like the queen bee at school, does not like this new girl coming in, and the new girl wants to join the lacrosse team, and then she's doing better than the popular girl. And so this popular girl's just really super mean to her. And then there's also a nice little love interest, so it has a little bit of queer stuff as well, with Felice Jenkel. She plays, I think it's Fabian, and so she's kind of the girl at school who doesn't care because she moves around so much, like her dad travels. But Elena and Fabian have this nice relationship and where it happens. But the thing about it is Elena has this mysterious friend who has been helping her out when like she gets picked on, but there's more to it.
Wow.
So it's like, I kind of called what it was early on. I was like, it's this, which it was, but I like where they kind of went with it, because then I'm like, all right, a movie can be like something we've already seen, but it's nice when like they go a different direction with it. It's great. Like there's deals with bullying. There's actually some sexual assault, which is really like, whoa, that they address that. But I think they handle everything really well. And then just like, what would happen if these things happened to you, and if you had kind of this possibly supernatural bodyguard friend. And I saw it, and it was like kind of cool that it was nominated for Best International Film at the Santa Barbara International Film Festival. So I was like, ooh, that's cool. I forgot, or I didn't know about that, and so I thought that was interesting. So I recommend it. It is slower, and you don't quite know what the supernatural element is as much towards the end, but it's kind of a cool horror. There's some blood and some violence and girls being mean to each other. So
Ooh, I love that.
yeah, it's one of those like it is kind of fun because like, oh man, Philippa, you just hate her so much because she's just such a bitch. They're just like,
we had a theme this week.
Yeah, we
I
had the
had
bitch-
tragedy
bitch-
girls.
yeah.
It's very also with the tragedy girls, and it's kind of like with your film. I don't know if it's a dark comedy, but very
there's some comedy, but it's
very
more drama.
Heather inspired. Heather's inspired, kind of. Well, for mine, tragedy
Yeah,
girls.
I'd say it's more drama, but then they have good stuff later of like, there's something where she gets like embarrassed with a school function, but the students actually react well, and it's kind of a good statement of like what you should do when that happens. So I was like, oh, that's kind of cool.
Cool.
So deeper messages
We
within
got
horror
some
movies.
very interesting, good films this week.
That
Yeah.
one was on Shudder, is where I watched it.
Oh, right on. Thank you for
Which
that.
I am slightly bummed. If you guys go look up High Tension on Shudder, I'm sorry, Shudder, I'm a
Quate.
little bummed. It is dubbed, and they don't have the subtitle version.
Ooh.
And no offense to dub, but I
Get
started, and I'm
it
like,
together, Shutter.
I
Hashtag
was
not
really
sponsored,
yeah.
but open to it.
Yeah. I was really excited to watch High Tension, and I started, I'm like, it's dubbed.
All right.
It just didn't look right.
So we just gave you 3 movies that we recommended, and apart from movies, I would love to recommend a podcast, especially if you want to have fun, learn, and grow in all areas of your life. Because if you do, we have this podcast that's just for you. So, Conversations with Maria Menounos, podcast edition, is hosted by our AfterBuzz TV founder and drops every Friday on iTunes. So, the reason why we are talking to you here today is because of this wonderful lady. Conversations with Maria Menounos features celebrity and influencer interviews along with secrets and tips on how to be a better person in all aspects of your life. From health to wellness, to career, relationships, finances, and more. Let our Maria be the big sister that you've always wanted. And so all you have to do is just go to iTunes and subscribe to Conversations with Maria Menounos, and it's all for free. Be sure to rate and comment, and when you do, let Maria know that it was us from the Horror Movie News on Popcorn Talk Network that brought you there. So Conversations with Maria Menounos, podcast edition, drops every Friday, and so go check it out. And I gotta say, it's a darn good podcast. I always try to better myself in any way I can, and I found this podcast to be so helpful when it comes, because they have like life coaches there often, and they're always it's just so interesting to see what kind of questions she's able to bring out of them.
That's good. Inspiration, definitely.
Oh, yeah.
I think we need inspiration like at the start of the week. I mean, it's Tuesday, but like we need motivation, inspiration. I think that's definitely the podcast to get that out of.
I agree. Right on. All right. So with our remaining time, we'll start heading into our news. So, were you guys a fan of the let's go with the Sarah Michelle Gellar Grudge.
Yes.
Yes.
Were you really? Okay.
I liked
I
it.
haven't revisited since I saw it like as a kid, so I'm not
Well,
sure
it was
where I
scary.
stand. Really? Okay.
Yeah, I was thinking about that. I'm like, what movies are scary for me? Because, like, I think just something about the visual aesthetics of Asian horror is really creepy.
But that wasn't Asian horror, like completely
The
though,
Grudge
wasn't
is
it?
It's from Juyeon, which is
Yeah. Okay.
Japanese
So
horror.
so the folklore was Asian for sure. Was
Yeah.
Japanese,
But I
right?
think it's
But I don't think
still-
like the filmmaking style was not.
No,
it
it was American
completely
made,
American.
but I
yeah.
think it's still the monster is the same.
Yeah, but like I would
Doesn't
I would
matter.
I would
It's the
argue that
thing
I would
is
argue
that's
that
freaky.
the techniques and like the storytelling techniques of it are completely different though, from American
Yeah,
horror to like
but I mean, they're-
actual Japanese horror.
Their supernatural monsters are freaking great.
Oh no, yeah,
Yeah,
they're,
that's
they're
what
always
I'm like.
great.
Ah!
Yeah.
Well, because it's just you're in the wrong place, the wrong time, and sucks to be you,
True.
and there's like nothing you can do.
Which is
So
pretty much
that's
what
what's
happens to good old Buffy. So she
Oh. Yeah.
gets
Sarah
bested,
Michelle.
gets bested by the Grudge.
Yes.
I believe. So yeah, so pretty much we're talking about the new Grudge reboot that's happening. I didn't know too much about it. I just knew there was a reboot, and I was like, okay. And I heard about the cast member. I was like, okay, sure. And then I looked into it, and I read that it's Nicholas Pess, who is the director of Eyes of My Mother, and if you guys remember, I was a huge fan of that film. I hope it's still on Netflix, so you guys should check it out. Eyes of My Mother. It's a great. I was once I saw his name, I was pretty excited. I was like, okay, I'm invested now. On top of that, you have writer Jeff Buhler, who's a part of the Midnight Train. He made the Midnight Meat Train in 2008, and also he wrote the remake of the Pet Cemetery that's going to be released on 2019.
Nice.
So that was like, okay. I got my engine started revving
Yeah.
for this film. And then I go down to producers, right? There's many producers, but one of them that stood out to me was, in my eyes, the iconic and legendary Sam Raimi. And I was just like, I'm sold. I'm
like,
in
in
it.
it, yeah.
Yep, I'm in it. I want to watch the original. I want to watch the remakes. I'm so down. So it's a new take on the 2004 The Grudge with Sarah Michelle Gellar. The cast includes Andrea Riseborough, and she's from Oblivion. We have Damien Bichir. Biker?
I think it's Biker.
Biker. And he's from The Hateful Eight and also Alien Covenant. He's actually a Mexican-American actor, so I was like, oh, cool. And also John Cho from The Exorcist, and also one of my favorite films, Harold and Kumar Go to White Castle.
Yes.
Yeah, if you know him. And also, the news that was going around circulating last week and also this week is that the legendary horror icon Lin Shaye from the Insidious
Nice.
franchise has joined the film as well.
That's awesome.
So
Very
I'm like
cool.
super excited now.
I wonder if she'll be like the old lady that Andrea is gonna care for, because that's
Oh.
what Sarah Michelle's. I hope it's not too much like the
Well,
remake reboot.
the American
You
remake,
can just
yeah.
take the monster and put it
Americanji.
with anybody, you know. So that's the kind of cool thing about it. I say
Yeah.
monster, I'm like, well, it's not really a monster. It's a cross between monster and supernatural-ish, because it's not exactly a ghost. sort
I'm
of.
hoping there.
But whatever it is, you could put that with anybody.
I want it
I
to be
don't know.
scarier. I want it to be darker and grittier. That's what I'm hoping from this.
Did you think the old ones were scary?
Which one?
The
The Grudge.
I don't think they were that scary.
They weren't super scary to me.
I don't know.
Yeah, and I was
When
a kid,
she's
and that's
under
when I
the
was like more
covers
susceptible.
and coming up underneath, under the covers, I was like,
I think the creepiest part was with Sarah Michelle Gellar when she was in the shower and the hand.
And the hand
Oh,
comes out of her
yeah.
head. I was
'cause
like,
didn't-
how's
you
the
didn't know what that was
logic?
at
What?
first.
Yeah.
You were
Yeah.
like, does she have like really bad acne in the?
and then
back
I
of
don't
her
know if it's the third or the second one, but there's like a part where the main girl's like in the closet and like watching weird dead people. I don't know. That like burned in my brain of freaky and scary for me.
All right, real quick, let's keep this going. So we actually I have a quote here from Raimi, which I thought was awesome. So, and he says, quote, "We are so excited about this new adaptation. We went back to the original source material to deliver a relentless supernatural thrill ride that explores the horrors of American suburbia." So that
Oh, there
tells
you go.
me it's
Answer
in
your question.
America.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's not going to be in Japan. I was set in Japan, which I
Kinda
guess
wish
it's
it
still
was.
cool. I totally, I'm with you there. But whatever, it's
Because if
fine.
there's folklore involved, like I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe
I know.
they
don't
brought
want-
it with them back or something.
Maybe
May-
because that's what happens in the rest of the Grudges, right?
Yeah.
I remember
Yeah.
the sequels.
Returning
so
from
I just-
Japan, yeah, it's just like her landing from Japan, and
Like,
like,
it's,
it's
like,
already
following
cursed.
her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just don't want it. Last comment. I don't want it to be too Americanized. if that
Yeah,
makes
same.
sense. So.
But we'll see. Yeah, so it's set to start shooting this May for a possible 2019 release.
Cool.
On to our next bit of news. So I teased at the top. Happy Death Day is
Woo!
having a sequel. It's just unofficially confirmed.
Interesting.
I like unofficially confirmed.
All right, unofficially confirmed that it's yeah. I can see the redundancy in that now, but that's okay. So yeah, so it came out last year. The first one came out last year. It was a huge success. So it made 122 million worldwide on a budget that was less than 5 million.
That's a good profit.
Ballin', yeah, dude, that's crazy. And so coming to us from Geek Vibe Nation, they reported that they are to be shooting a sequel coming this May. And what gets me excited is that everyone from the first film is actually back, including
sweet.
Jessica Roth as
Nice.
a lead star. Christopher Landon will be writing and directing it once more, and Jason Blum will be producing from Blumhouse. And we have a quote from Jessica Roth that we touched on months ago, but just to reiterate. Quote, the sequel, the way he described it to me, elevates the movie from being a horror movie, and I wouldn't even say it's just a horror movie because it's a horror comedy, romantic, rom-com drama into a back to the future type of genre film where the sequel joins us right from where we left off. It explains a lot of things in the first one that didn't get explained and elevates everything. So my
Interesting.
excitement after reading that elevated everything. So I'm pretty pumped for it. Who's here for it? You guys?
Oh yeah,
yeah,
the
right?
first one was so fun.
Right?
I wasn't sure if they were gonna actually like continue the story or if they
Yeah.
were gonna like
Yeah.
come back the same cast.
No.
I
but,
like that it's the
different
same one
characters.
and learn
Yeah,
more.
I love that
Wow.
because we're already invested in
Yeah.
her character. Like
Because she did have a huge character arc.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So she went from like being like a little snobby to like, oh, you're
little.
cool, and your daddy like issues are resolved,
Yeah.
sort of, you know. So it's like, okay, I want to see her grow, and so yeah, we'll see where it goes. But it's under the working title Faux Paw, FOEPAW, Faux Paw. So there's some speculation going around that maybe it's something to do with like the monkey's paw.
Interesting.
Like the monkey's curse that surrounds it,
Yeah.
like you make a wish and then
Yeah.
but then it takes something for you.
But be careful what you wish for. huh?
Exactly. There's
yeah.
also it's possible maybe like a body switching with the monkey. She might be a monkey, like be body switch with the monkey.
I mean, that sounds
what,
amazing.
what do you guys think it could be? I guess the monkey paw would make sense, but we haven't seen a movie like that in a long time.
Yeah.
It's still using the kind of like the Groundhog Day theme, right? You
I don't know.
That's
I
a good
wonder.
question. I'm like, what? I
Because-
was looking up. I'm like, what is the actual definition of faux pas?
Like,
Like, maybe it is.
Because
like,
that's what made it so like popular, the Groundhog Day plot line.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
wonder if they were to completely change that, maybe it is her like making these wishes. I mean, at least it'd be new, but it's like not Happy Death Day. I don't know.
I
Yeah,
want to. Yeah, I
who
want to know
knows?
where they go with it. The only thing that I'm like, wait, I want to find the actual.
'Cause I like-
now it's just
I
giving
like
me
the-
this song.
I like the montage
Um,
of her dying all the time.
Yeah.
Yes. Only thing that was a weird thing that I think we kind of talked about is I hope they develop the surrounding cast better because
Mm-hmm.
in that movie, any person of color is either a joke or has no dialogue or dies.
Oh, that's right. I
Yeah.
remember that.
And I was like,
yeah.
okay, could we have like somebody just, it's not like they have to be a major character per se, but like, can we not have them be voiceless
Yeah.
or, you know, bad things happen to them?
Yeah. It was definitely a minor detail, but I can see
Yeah.
what you're saying. Like looking back, I'm like, oh yeah, there was the Asian girl
Who never spoke.
There was
I
a black
agree.
girl, but yeah.
Had everybody mean to her. So you're like,
All right, for the sake of time, I'm gonna
Yeah.
keep it chugging along because we got a couple more stories.
Yeah, yeah.
So next one we have this new film called Parallel. So if those of you who recall, I mentioned a film called The Similars. It's actually and it was like a cool like I was really ecstatic about it that day I saw it. So it's directed by the same director, Isaac Esban. He's gonna be directing Parallel. And you guys want to take a wild guess what it's about?
similarities,
Parallel?
parallel
Universe.
things.
Parallel universe.
universe.
I think it's about it's parallel dimensions. Synopsis is a group of friends stumble upon a mirror that serves as a portal to a multiverse, but soon discover that importing knowledge from the other side in order to better their lives brings increasingly dangerous
Oh,
consequences.
I like that.
Right? So it sounds interesting. He's very like personal. Like I guess from what I got from the similars, he's very like personable as or very like character driven in it. Character driven psychology. You know, with some cool like aspects thrown in, which is like. So I'm guessing it has to do with whoever finds the mirror. It's gonna be very emotionally driven, but also there's a parallel thing that helps him
Sure.
overcome some sort of like character folly. I think, I don't know, too early to speculate really. I'm just pulling things out. But pretty much what I got from his earlier work. But yeah, I'm so for it. I'm down for it. I like this. I like
Cool
this
concept.
director. Yeah, I want to see where he goes with it. And there's no, we don't have any details on when it's released or anything, but we just know that he's making it, and I'm happy for it. So
Sweet.
bring it on. So all right, so we have a couple of trailers. We have about 4 trailers. I'm not sure if we're gonna get through all of them, but we're gonna try our best. So the first trailer we're gonna start up with is called White Chamber. So you can go ahead and just let that roll, and we'll be talking over it. So this trailer comes from director Paul Rashid, I believe. He made one other film called Servants' Quarters back in 2016. I believe he's also like my age. He's like 24. He was born in 1993. Yeah. So the synopsis to this is: civil war rages. A woman wakes up in blindingly white cuboid cell. Using its sophisticated functionality, her captor tortures her for information she claims to not have. Or does she? So it looks like a very like so I'm guessing that's a torture chamber in a sense.
Looks like
And
Cube.
It looks like
Little
Cube.
bit.
Cube.
Yeah, I haven't seen Cube yet. Oh wait,
You haven't seen
I have.
Cube?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I've
you
seen
have.
Cube. The one where
I-
it's all set in one place.
Well, you can go. It's like a maze too. You can go different
What
spots.
is going on?
No, just watching this
Yeah,
and
we're
reading
seeing,
the
like,
synopsis.
oh, he's
I
throwing
read
up, there's
the
people
Civil War,
convulsing.
and I'm like, what? Oh no, just Civil War. Okay,
there's
this is.
people
It looks kind of
convulsing.
futuristic.
Yeah, it's very
Well, if they
futuristic.
gas the chamber, then they would be affected by it.
Yeah.
It's interesting. There's no depth. Is
Yeah.
this the trailer?
This
with
is the
just
trailer.
music?
No, this is a trailer with just music.
Ah,
Yeah.
That's an
White
interesting
Chamber.
choice.
So it stars Shauna McDonald, who she's one of the cast from The Descent.
Cool.
Oded Fair, who's Ardeth Bay in The Mummy, and also
Yay.
Carlos in the Resident Evil Extinction.
Oh, I
remember
love that
him.
guy.
Yeah, so he's back. Great to see him. And also Amrita Acharya, and she was Iri in Game of Thrones. She was from Dorne. She was one of the daughters
Oh,
of the
yeah.
main chick from Dorne, I believe. Yeah. So that's that trailer. What do you guys think? You guys here for it? I'm semi interested.
I wish
not
there
gonna
was
lie.
Curious.
dialogue. I wish
Yeah,
there was
I'm curious.
dialogue.
I was-
'cause
yeah.
I didn't know what to think of that.
And also, it looks like it also takes place in one little setting.
Well, yeah, inside and then outside that
Yeah.
space.
Unfortunately,
there.
Unfortunately, so we have 3 other trailers, but we're not gonna have time to get through them. But that's okay. We'll
the
save them.
best one.
We'll see. Yeah, I was about to say we'll save them for next time. I would say just go check out the Terminal teaser trailer. Definitely worth checking out. Has amazing stars such as Margot Robbie, Simon Pegg, Mike Myers, Max Irons, Dexter Fletcher. Oh, he's a little less known. He's actually Pinky in the Doom film with Dwayne The Rock Johnson. If you guys
Oh,
remember
wow.
that, that was hilarious. That's set to come out May 11th, 2018. That's Terminal. Next we had, which was Ghostland. Check that one out. Just look it up. It's by the same director as Martyrs from 2008. His name's Pascal Laguerre. And that looks very violent as well. Very fast-paced movie. Very interesting. We'll hopefully save it for next week. But the one I actually do want to get to is The House with Clocks in Its Walls. And this looks like it's going to be a very like blockbuster horror-esque looking movie. Go ahead and roll that. So director, it comes from Eli Roth. Written by Eric Kripke. And also, who does a screenplay, because it's actually based off a novel by John, I think I spelled his name wrong, Belair's.
Players.
Yeah. I think it might have been
I didn't
A.
know it was a novel.
Sorry about that. Yeah, it's written a novel off the same name. A
September. Got some time to read it.
So yeah, I'm probably gonna plan on reading it.
Yeah.
Synopsis is: a young orphan named Louis, and that's the name of the little boy that you'll see. Louis Barnevelt aids his magical uncle, who's played by Jack Black, and his name's
Yes.
Jonathan Barnevelt. So he aids him in locating a clock with the power to bring about the end of the world. And it's set to release September 21st of this year. Full cast members are notable are Kate Blanchett as Miss Zimmerman, Jack Black as Jonathan Barnevelt, and Owen Vaccaro as Louis Barnevelt, and also Kyle MacLachlan from, as Isaac Izzard, and he's from Twin Peaks. That actor.
I didn't get a chance to read the article, but I saw like a Twitter post that they were saying this is also more of a family horror because the
Yeah, it
main
looks
kid's
very-
a kid.
Yeah,
Main character is a kid.
Yeah, you could probably chalk it up to like Goosebumps, probably.
Yeah.
Maybe a
Which
bit
that
more.
was really good. Maybe
Yeah,
a little darker.
I was gonna say a bit more intense though.
Maybe
It does-
teenager, not quite middle school.
Right. Yeah.
Not everything.
But it
I mean, it
does
has
look
Jack
interesting.
Black in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like he makes it funny, but also in a way like it's kind of creepy.
Yeah.
Which I
Because
like.
Goosebumps was good and had some scary moments.
Yeah.
Not scary overall, but that was family horror.
Yeah, totally. So yeah, you can chalk it up to family horror, but it's horror nonetheless, and I'm down for it. It looks awesome.
That looks super cool.
This little like ending right here, like this thing. Yeah, I was like, oh, I love creatures. I love like Cthulhian-esque creatures.
Cthulhian.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Cthulhian. New
I'm
favorite
all
word.
for it. I'm all
The,
for
the
it.
tentacles.
Yeah.
man.
Also, like the Terror was like just premiered on AMC, which is it's like complete side tangent, but like I feel like it's a little Cthulhian.
Oh, really? What's it
Yeah.
called?
The Terror on AMC. It's
Terror?
it's gonna be 10 episodes. It's horror TV for sure.
Cool.
I haven't seen it yet. I want to so badly. We're doing the after show on AfterBuzz TV, so check that out. It happened last night, so it's every Monday.
Cool.
Definitely got to check that out for sure.
Yeah. Right on. So yeah, so we're gonna start wrapping up the show. But I mentioned last week when we had the director and cast. Thank you. Of House of Demons that we're gonna be giving away our poster. I didn't bring it with me tonight, this time around, but I still have it. And we actually had people comment on our show.
Nice.
So it was so it was Zach111. He commented, "Great show. This got me so excited to see House of Demons. Thank you."
Wonderful.
And to that I say thank you, Zach111,
Yeah.
for commenting and being awesome and like watching our show. I really appreciate it. And our second one was Jay Silver, and he commented, "Yay!" Exclamation point. New podcast to listen to! Exclamation point. Super excited to see horror represented.
All right.
Yeah, so with that, thank you so much for that sentiment. I really appreciate it. And next week, we'll be revealing the winner.
Yeah. Sweet.
Yes. So next week, we'll reveal the winner, and we'll give you the details as to how to get to us in order to, so we can know your information, and we'll ship you the poster. So it was between those two lovable fans, hopefully diehard fans and fans for a long time, and lifelong fans.
Now you're just getting creepy.
Yeah, but yeah, thank you so much for participating and commenting down below. Really appreciate it. And if you guys just want to talk about any horror movie or anything, I've been checking our comments much more recently, and I'll go in after the show and just leave a little, hey, leave a comment down below, and yeah, support us, like us, chat with us. I'm all about talking about film. And if you guys have any recommendations, please bring them on. Like, I'm trying to watch at least 2 horror movies every week, apart from all the movies I see. So yeah, I'm all for it. Bring it on. And so, Ollie, why don't you put yourself over?
Hey guys, I'm Oliver Jen, and thank you guys so much for watching. Follow me on all social media platforms at Ollie Dreamer. You can check out my cosplays at Ollie Cosplays, and also tune into AfterBuzz TV's America's Next Top Model After Show on Tuesdays at 8.
Nice. And my name's Carrie Lane. You guys can find me online at Carrie D Lane. That's KARIDLANE. And tune in at 6 p.m. today for AfterBuzz anime reviews. This guy's gonna be there, and then we have some other people gonna be there, and we have some
Heyo.
special voice guest people. We're talking
Ooh.
about the end of Be the Beginning. It's a great show, and you're gonna want to talk about it. So
The
tune in.
end of the beginning.
I know, right? Well, that's actually
Too
part of it
perfect.
too. That's part
Ooh,
of the
ooh.
end stuff. Yeah.
Right on. All right, hello everybody. My name is Anthony Becerra. You can find me everywhere at TonyBTony_. Tony B Tony _. I believe that looks right on camera. Also, just some quick cross promotion. You can find Chauncey Robinson at Miss Chauncey KR, and she puts on the Bloody Breakdown on her YouTube channel, and also check that out on her Twitter, as well as follow Lucretia Line at Lucretia Line, and she has the Mrs. Brightside podcast that she does, which is fantastic. And both of them together, they do the Red Room Horror, and you can follow them at Red Room Horror on Twitter. Along with that, I'm also doing a Krypton after show every Sunday at 4 p.m. Pacific time with Stephanie Sabra and it's me. So like we're just talking some Kryptonians, you know, whatevs. But yeah, join us there, and we try to put on the best after show we can. And apart from all that, horror movie news is now officially concluded. Go watch some horror movie news. Go get scared. Go get scared.
Bye.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Popcorn Talk Network or its owners or principals.